then you've had a huge success and you get one of these to use for a reroll later.
All the colors are the same?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at the beginning of our material round, and our goal for the material round is to acquire a space for the pub. So we've drummed up some support in the neighborhood. We got a entertainment. We got a brewmaster, and now we just got to find the space, probably in the neighborhood that Faf scouted out. And Graham's going to get us started here. What's happening now?
So we're maybe making a few improvements to a location that we settled on because we found the neighborhood that we scouted and that all worked out, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we just have to make a few improvements to this space to make it appropriate for all the needs that we have. We need the taps, right?
Yeah.
We need a stage for the music.
Yeah.
So maybe we can our current budget only covers one of the improvements unless we can negotiate down to something that can something we can afford now, so we can get it all at once, as opposed to starting off with just the drinks,
right.
Just the setup for the brewmaster.
Sounds like somebody's going to Home Depot.
So maybe I wait for the guy to come out that is negotiating prices for
for the lumber for the stage or something.
It's like bakeries, right? At the end of the day, they do the secondhand. They let all their stock go. So maybe it's the same with the lumber.
Right.
Are we going for lumber? I thought we were on a budget.
It is kind of pricey down here, but
we need some kind.
We need some lumber. All of our improvements need some lumber.
We need lumber. Lumber for the stage. We need a stage. That's
can you make that out of stone?
Maybe that's why all the Chitterells sucked, was because they refused to invest in a stage. So the musicians were down low. The sound didn't carry. You couldn't see anything. That's how we're gonna take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So it's really essential that we have a stage from the get-go. It's all well and good for us to have the finest drinks, but no one's going to know that it's the finest drinks until they come in there, because this brewmaster that we talk to has a reputation for being kind of eccentric, so they're maybe afraid to try.
Kind of like the beer Nazi.
So if we kind of
for you.
Yeah. So if we can lure them in with the better music, because they already they know our reputation.
Yeah, they do.
So so I'm going to use my patience to wait around for the lumber salesman. So if we can get a good deal on the lumber, then we'll be able to get the brewmaster set up and the music set up at our grand opening.
Bam.
As opposed to waiting a month or two.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah. So that gives me the +1, I guess.
Yes, sir.
All right, so
here we go.
Don't let me down this time.
Oh no! What happened? Did your patience fail you?
I guess.
All right, let's roll it. Roll it again, man.
Roll again?
Yeah.
For the
find out how you failed. Yeah.
3.
The wrong stuff.
The wrong stuff.
So how do we incorporate that? Maybe you picked the
wrong kind of lumber.
Thought it was the lumber guy, but it was actually fiberglass or something.
Yeah.
Fiberglass.
Stage made of fiberglass.
That actually is a pretty exotic material that absorbs all the sound. So you start to play and it just kind of absorbs it, and so the sound just sounds muffled.
But it's your call. What happened?
Yeah, I bought material that wasn't strong enough for the stage.
So you come in with a pallet of stuff. You're like, guys, look what I got.
Yeah, and we realize it's just gonna collapse. So
So who's gonna save this one?
Can we? How do remind me how we save it?
You're gonna make another roll using material skill, but you have to use a trait.
Can we use an advantage?
Yeah.
So
Because
then-
advantage is just a free roll.
So then I'm going to use. I'll save us. I'm going to call on the support of the forgers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cartload of unworkable material and I'm going to bring it to them, and they're going to coat it with some good chemicals and
some polymers.
yeah, some polymers. Yeah, bang on it a little bit with their hammers, and turn it into something workable. And turn it into material we can actually use.
Okay.
So we actually end up getting some pretty mastercraft level materials.
Sweet. Good job.
Alright.
Good job, forgers.
So then it passes to me, correct?
Yeah. What happens next?
Well, it's a material round. What other material do we need? Wait, that's mine. It's okay if you want to try it, but that's mine.
We need we need a bar top. We need metal for our distillery stuff.
We need a really eye-catching sign.
We do.
furnishing
do.
and mugs and stuff.
Have we decided on a name for
Think
our
about
town?
that. No.
We have not.
We need like a good pub name,
We need a good pub name.
but like an English pub, like the Rickety Rocker. We'll think about it as we go. It'll come to us eventually as the building begins to take shape.
So, I think I will take charge of trying to find us a sign
All right.
outside. That's kind of why I wanted to know our name, but I suppose we could paint over it later.
Yeah.
So, I am gonna look for, pubs typically have a kind of very set sign structure, right? It's kind of like,
Hanging over
normal
the door.
size, normal shape, kind of has some chains. So, I don't buy into that, and I'm eccentric, so I'm gonna look for some really weird shaped, maybe some that come out through the window and up to the up the side of the door,
Yeah.
or some that are spiky. So if you're too drunk, you walk into it and hurt yourself. So
That's the discouraged drunkenness.
It's the discouraged
Right.
drunkenness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there, get drunk, you get impaled.
Right. So I'm going to invoke my eccentricness, which gives me a +1, and I'm naturally a -1 skill at material, so that cancels out to a
Alright.
0 to try to find us a nice sign. 4.
All right. So you tied. So there's going to be a complication. So you succeed, but there's something that's a little bit off. It's a success, but
And do I name the butt, or
you do.
somebody else?
We could work together if you're stuck. You can name it, and then you'll jot it down under complications. We'll have to come back and use that later, either for a failure or in the finale. Is it something to do with the spikes, maybe?
I think so. I think it is. Does it make it a little too hard to handle? Like we can't even lift it up to put it up properly?
What are you saying?
Maybe someone gets injured.
Yeah, I think somebody, when we're lifting it up, somebody hurts themselves.
Okay.
And so that, maybe that causes a little bit of a bad rep,
Okay. So team injury from sign.
and that maybe hurts our reputation a little bit. Which is
We have a few blood stains on the sign.
But we put a little alcohol on it, give him a couple free drinks, and he's alright. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm a pretty resourceful dwarf, and I'm thinking what's really going to set us above and beyond and make us stand out is a way to light this sign up. And we'll come up with a name at some point. So, again, being resourceful, I know a lot of the spots around the neighborhood. I know where to go deep into the underground to find some glowworms. So I'm going to try to get a bunch of glowworms, and we're going to just put them in each letter to make it light up, because this is a medieval fantasy setting which has no electricity. So Udo goes deep into one of these caves. He's got his spelunking gear on. He actually cut out of work early, which he would normally never do, but he's so excited about this thing. He's got a torch to try to find some stuff. He's all prepared. He's got his gear ready to go. And this should be pretty much unfailable, because I'm getting +2 from my narrative bonus and from my +1 material skill. So we're going to see if we find enough glowworms to make the sign look super good. Oh yes, so I blew that one out of the water. So that's an 8, which is a spectacular success. I get one of these puppies to spend for later for a reroll. And what makes it spectacular is that I found this rare breed of glowworm. The Latin is escaping me at the moment. But this one actually, this family of glowworms actually change colors from day to day. So that what starts off as like a green, could be yellow the next day, could be orange or red the next day. And so I gather them up and I bring them to you guys, and we find a way to put them in this death trap of a sign without killing any of them.
Squirmius glowus maxus. Or
There-
various. Squirmius glowus
Various, that's great. Exactly. All right. Anybody add anything to that before I pass it on to...
Are we keeping the worms alive in the sign? Or
Yes.
do we like mush them up? So we have to feed them.
I'm in charge of feeding them for now.
Okay.
Until I get tired of it,
Okay.
and then I'll pass the buck to like a bus
PM.
bus boy or something. Yeah.
The Glowworm Tavern.
Glowworm Tavern? That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
You going with
yeah,
Glowworm
let's go
Tavern?
with Glowworm Tavern.
Alright, we're the Glowworm
Nice.
Tavern, which sounds a lot better than Chitter Ale.
Yeah.
Alright, what's Brenner doing all this besides eating pancakes for supper?
Well, I'm starting to think that we're racking up a lot of expenses and I need to do something about our money situation. So
Very practical.
I've got these pieces that have just kind of been sitting around like they were early commissions, and I finished them. The client really wasn't willing to pay what I wanted for them because I was just kind of naive about what the value of it was.
Of course.
And so I've got these things that have kind of been sitting that I've decided I'm gonna let go of them and go see if I can sell them for something to raise some money.
Sounds sensible.
And using my my aloofness, I'm gonna try and
The connection of aloofness amongst all these people. You're aloof, I'm aloof too. Let's be buddies.
I'm gonna act like I'm displaying this as a work to get work as opposed to trying to sell it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna be more aloof about actually letting people purchase it. 'Cause my,
So you're like sucking them in. But
Yes.
I see. I see what you're doing there. So this is plus 2. 6. Perfect.
I'm gonna goes a -1.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
I've
looking,
got
I was
the
looking at it
old
wrong.
ones
Yeah, yeah,
backwards.
yeah. All right. So that's a 4.
That's a 4.
All right. So it's a success, but
It's a success, but the original owner saw that I was selling the piece that they commissioned, and they're not
Whoops.
super happy that someone else is buying this now. So maybe this person has a bit of a grudge against our tavern now as a result of
Yeah.
feeling slighted.
Dang. Okay. That's good.